Hello, this is Joy News Desk with me, Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Coming up, Ghana Cedi on a roller coaster from record highs to a sharp decline in just weeks. But what's causing this? We speak to a currency analyst and industry. Also coming up, officials of the Ghana Education Service colluded with invigilators, taking as little as 60 cedis to allow candidates cheat in the 2025 Basic Education Certificate examinations.
Does not pay. It is WAEC that pays this money to the candidate because it is factored into the fee that is paid.
More in our latest Hotline documentary, The Dark World of BEC, and also Black Stars drop points in the World Cup qualifier against Chad in N'Djamena. We'll hear from you, our cherished viewers, here on our desk. These plus business updates coming up. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, some officials of the Ghana Education Service colluded with invigilators and candidates to cheat during the 2025 Basic Education Certificate examination, BEC. One of such schools is the Derby Avenue RC Basic School in Accra, where as little as 60 cedis was enough to allow candidates smuggle mobile phones into the exam hall, use artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT, and even receive solved questions directly from invigilators. Here are excerpts of our Hotline documentary.
At the Derby Avenue RC Exams Center, on the first day of the examination, while preparing exam materials for candidates to commence writing, invigilators were invited by the supervisor to a meeting with the headmistress of the host school, Derby Avenue RC. She announced a daily 60 cedis gift for each invigilator for the duration of the examination.
We said we have exactly for you 60 cedis a day, which is 50 Ghana a day. Those people decided to cut you so 60 Ghana. Should I give it to you, or we should be making it every day 60 Ghana, every day 60 Ghana, so that you know we are catered for you for the week, because we are public schools. So which one?
I would like to take this daily.
Daily?
Yes. What is it?
So after the day, come you bring it?
Yes.
Candidates were also instructed to give their invigilators money at the end of every day's examination. At the St. George's Anglican Basic School Exams Center, payment was made in bulk. The supervisor handed envelopes containing 400 cedis to each invigilator.
GS has not paid. It is WAEC that pays this money to the candidate because it is factored into the fee that is paid from the state to us to relate to the invigilators and supervisors. So any payment that is made in the course of the examination to an invigilator, a supervisor, is illegal. It is not coming from WAEC. WAEC does not pay money in the course of the examination. We don't do that. You finish and then you submit your claims, and then they are worked out properly, and then the money is sent in bulk to the supervisor, and then he in turn would also relay same to the teachers who took part in the invigilation.
Not many schools wrote the final paper, so for the centers investigated, the exams ended on the 17th of June 2025. Days earlier, candidates at Derby Avenue were informed to prepare financially for an offertory called the Aseda Offertory, which will be collected before the start of the final papers at the center. This offertory was meant to thank invigilators for their assistance in the examination. On the morning of the final paper, the invigilator who announced the Aseda Offertory the previous day, who later got the nickname Sir Aseda, would move from one exam hall to another with a box for collection of the offertory. Candidates were asked to pay 5 cedis or above. The total amount collected was shared among the invigilators. Each invigilator received at least 60 cedis as their share in the unspecified total sum raised in the Aseda offertory.
How much is that?
That one we will give you service after the next one. So this one is as I want to give this. Add 5 cents so that you give 50. Hurry up.
And those are excerpts of our documentary, The Dark World of BEC, that you just saw. The full documentary airs on Monday on the Joy News channel as well as on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, the city has had one of its most dramatic rides in years. It's opened in 2025 at 14.72. The dollar slipped slightly to 15.50 and then stunned everyone by rallying to 10 by May, its strongest level in over a decade. But the joy didn't last. In just the past 3 weeks, the currency has tumbled again to nearly 12 cedis, or now at 11.90, making it one of the weakest in the third quarter, according to Bloomberg. What's driving this roller coaster? Some analysts point to slower remittances, rising imports, and the Bank of Ghana's pullback on dollar supply following an IMF warning. Yet, with gold prices high and reserves above $11 billion, the central bank still has the power to act. Let's speak to AGI President Cedi Performance. They are the industry players and see how this is affecting them. Mr. Kwaba, we're grateful for your time on our desk.
But not the president.
Great to have you. Now, have the city's sharp swings affected your planning this year? How would you describe the impact of it on your work?
Well, as we all know, at the beginning of this year, up to today, until just a few weeks ago, we've had reasonable stability in the city, and to the extent that it was even appreciating in value. And that's something that was very welcomed by the business community, except a few challenges with the sharp appreciation, which was affecting the export sector and then making the imports cheaper. So those challenges, but generally, I think that appreciated the appreciation. Now, with that depreciation experience has come to our notice, and indeed members are aware of but we don't want to get into a panic mode. That's the last thing, because once you start panicking, then send signal, and then don't even the foreign currency coming again, because you know that when it's good for all of us. So we know that the flip-flop of the doesn't, and I remember in the appreciation, one thing that is that it's not much that is important, rather than that is important. So if you take a great and stay there every long, then
well, Mr. Akwaba, I'm finding it very difficult to hear you. Could you please position yourself so that we can hear more clearly?
Okay, the problem is I'm not in Accra. I'm far away from Accra.
Oh, okay, okay. And this is much better. If you could maintain this, that would be great.
Okay, so that's fine. So the point I was making is that the city appreciation is something we like, but what we kept saying is that the importance is not so much the appreciation, it's the stability. When it's stable, then you can plan. But when it's appreciated in value and later depreciated and you cannot plan, then it affects business. So we are a bit concerned about the few days of depreciation. However, let me be quick in saying that if you study the trend and of the behavior of the city over the years, it is not too strange to have some depreciation around this time, because people are importing Christmas goods to around it, and there's a bit of pressure on the city. That's why we keep saying that for us to have stability in the long term, we should look at local production of goods and consume more of the made in Ghana goods. So the demand for the foreign currency at no point will be so higher than the supply. So then you can have a real stability on a sustainable basis. So the national depreciation we are experiencing now is not too strange, and I don't want us to panic, and then we get into a mood where we fuel it further and people start hoarding, they create all kinds of problems for us.
So with this, are you gaining or are you losing? What's the picture?
Well, I mean, in situations like this, there are always winners and losers of instability. But on the whole, I think I will talk generally about the net effect on the economy. And the net effect is that we all appreciated we all welcome the strength of the cedi lately. And therefore, it is depreciating that we must be concerned about. But we shouldn't panic. So I don't think that we are happy with the sudden depreciation again. So I cannot say that we are gaining. We rather would prefer a stability. So once it's depreciated, it means that it's not as stable as expected.
Well, in what ways would you think government or policymakers should ensure that there's this stability that you talk about? How would it work for you?
Well, the stability can be achieved in different ways. In the short term, it's about the management of the situation. The Bank of Ghana is in the market, right? And that's where they reach to the Bank of Interest. I think it's been right so that things for the situation, and that's the reason why we have, significant stability possible. So in short, I think banks continue, and we see some of them stamping on the forex. Just running with some banks being suspended. Recently, a case of the fact that not being certain volume that goes pressure constantly continue to, and that they have in the market. But that's the short term. In the long run, number 2 is for us industry. We keep saying that let's make that more need the country, consume more of the country, so that overly depend on it, that put pressure on our system. That is the way of stabilizing, making sure that if you achieve, it is sustained.
All right, grateful for your time, Mr. Chuma Kwabwa is president of AGI. Away from that, tensions once again rising in Bato in the northern district of the Volta region as fears of reprisals grow. The disputed paramount chief of the traditional area has been accused of plotting to stage another Hogbeza festival despite a 2022 court injunction banning it. In 2023, the embattled chief allegedly defied a whole high court order and went ahead with a similar event, sparking violent clashes that left 5 people dead. With no arrest made over those killings, residents warn that his latest attempt could drag the community back into chaos.
It's not go through because of some 2 years ago, the festival you want to do, but the people die for the festival. Then me at the UFA, I think say the festival is not go through because of if the festival come, the people, I don't know why it go happen again. So the people go die again, the people not die again. It go work. I don't know. So I want to tell the government. So I want to beg them so for stop the festival.
We are saying Hogoza can be celebrated, but on a ground or on a peaceful ground. What he stated brought misunderstanding and other things to Bato traditional area. So to cut it short, what happened last 2 years, perpetrators have not been settled. And we are still mourning for our 5 deaths, 5 good deaths. The so-called Togbe Jekle didn't mind whether they are human beings or whatever it is. Now he is planning for a festival again. What is the festival for? So we want to appeal to the government to come to our aid. We appeal to the government to come to our aid so that what happened that year should not happen again. Everything will be mixed up. Every situation, everything will be in a mess. So it will not bring peace and harmony to the traditional area. There will be more casualties than the one which has happened.
Well, speaking to the press, the Mankralo of Bato, Togbe Heavy Baboji II, said he firmly opposes any festival in the town. He wants the security services to enforce the court injunction and prevent another bloodbath.
The RISEC, DISEC, and all the security services have found out that peace will not be at Bato that time for celebration. Injunction was given. Unfortunately, our former paramount chief of Bato, now called Thomas Ametry, when the injunction was given to him, he continued. He ignored the injunction. What the security saw that it would happen, surely it happened. We lose 5 men. As I'm talking to you, there is no result. We all believe in Ghana that the law, nobody is above the law. So, when they give you injunction, it means that what you are doing, you must stop. But our former paramount chief of Bato, now called Thomas Ametry, go ahead and we will lose our young men and even one of the chief. We are expecting from the security services to come out with a result for the people who rejected the injunction to be arrested for a trial or for justice. People who lose their families are there up to now, they didn't hear anything. Few days ago, I heard that the same person have planned for another event again. At Boko, look at what is happening at Accra and other places of Ghana. To be losing our people because of selfishness. Bato is a place that for so many years, many chiefs have come and passed. We never experienced anything like that before. Losing 5 people. I'm saying today that I disagree with planning to do another event called Asafotu for this time.
Well, let's engage security analyst Dr. Ishmael Norman on this developing story. Dr. Norman, grateful for your time on News Desk. From your security point of view, what do you think is happening here?
For the occasion, I believe that parties involved respect law and the tradition as well. Because this is an ongoing matter which the Volta Regional have achieved. Already, the division of the House of Chiefs has already spoken on that. But it looks like nobody is respecting the institutional structures, judicial structures are telling. So I believe they're putting too much pressure on Ghana because this is obey the law and authorities solve the matter before you go ahead with any kind of activity. But nobody wants to respect the law. Is the law, we've been told. So for me, I believe that the police, as they have done with FPU, with any union employee, please ensure that this is done so as to lose more people. Also disrupt investment activities in the whole region, not just in Bata. So we need to take much seriously.
What measures should the security services, especially the police, take at this point in time, knowing that or hearing that the particular chief insists on going ahead with the festival celebration?
I really want to advise whether I could ask to organize the festival. What I am speaking about from the objective, some police may have as many people to install in I think it's about to ensure we don't have because the cost can just too much. The pressure on the police also too much. Let's start making for our change everything the law. So I think your day to deploy to probably to ensure that the state and then the parties that have a dispute should then go to court and sort it out. Please, let us be.
Dr. Norman, we're grateful for your time. We also apologize for that poor quality of sound there. But in the Upper West region, its Regional Minister Charles Posing is asking inductees of the National Apprenticeship Program to maximize opportunities given while on the program. He spoke after officially welcoming 100 apprentices into the National Apprenticeship Training Program in WA.
The National Apprenticeship Program initiative, launched in April 2025, aims to equip young people with skills across 9 key trade areas, nurturing hope, discipline, and a future filled with promise. Upper West Regional Minister Lawyer Charles Wongo Pozung, speaking at the matriculation and induction ceremony in WA, noted that they are not just launching a training exercise, but are nurturing hope, skills, and dignity for the young people in the region.
We are not just launching a training exercise. We are nurturing hope, skills, and dignity for the young people of this region. This program is a lifeline for the youth, offering them an opportunity to acquire employable skills, create jobs, and continue meaningful to national development.
Lawyer Charles Wongo Pozung also addressed a critical challenge facing the youth, the growing menace of substance abuse.
This program is an opportunity to carve out your future. Do not waste it. At the same time, let me draw our attention to a worrying development in our region, the growing menace of substance abuse among our youth. This is destroying lives and undermining the very investment we are making in you today.
Deputy Coordinator of the National Apprenticeship Program, Fuhad Agbanyeda, representing the National Coordinator, Nicodemus Zere, noted that training equipment and startup kits will be provided, which comes with responsibility.
This initiative marks a historic commitment from the government, which is covering all training costs, providing workplace insurance, monthly stipends, and personal protective equipment, startup kits for all our apprentices. This unprecedented support underscores our dedication to skills development and job creation.
On behalf of the master craftspersons, Scholastica W. Sawyer pledged to uphold the highest standards of professionalism in guiding the apprentice.
As master craftsperson, we accept the responsibility placed on us as trainers mentors, and guidance of the next generation of skilled workers. We pledge to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, fairness, and discipline in guiding our apprentices.
Reporting for Dway News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
The Queen Consort of Warri Kingdom, Her Majesty Olori Atuache III, is asking for the inclusion of more Queen mothers and female traditional leaders in both local and national traditional councils. She was speaking to Joy News on the sidelines of the Women Aligning Women Conference organized by Elevate Africa in Cape Coast as part of the 2025 Ogwafetuafashe celebrations.
The Women Align Women Conference, a brainchild of Elevate Africa, brought together noble women in different fields to champion causes that promote women empowerment. The conference, which formed part of the 2025 Ogwafetuafashe, was on the theme Women Leaders Across Traditional, Corporate, Government, Civil Society, and Innovation sectors. Sharing some words with Joy News, the Queen Consort of the Warri Kingdom, Her Majesty Olori Atuache III, highlighted that the conference was to encourage women to work together and mentor the next generation.
I think, like I said in my speech, the mission is simple: to get women to collaborate with each other, the 1% that have managed to break the glass ceiling, to come together as a collective and mentor and sponsor the next generation, to ensure that we enlarge the 1% to make it at least 10% or 20% or even 30% of women in leadership.
Her Majesty also called for constitutional reforms to ensure the inclusion of more Queen mothers and female traditional leaders into local and traditional councils. She asserted that the modern era of royalty demands the complementary strength of both male and female leadership styles in order to build balanced, thriving societies.
The sky is wide enough for all of us. Women don't lead better, women lead differently. Where men are more decisive and more aggressive and more focal to the point, a woman's style of leadership embraces more empathy, more peacemaking, and we need both types of leadership to make society whole. And so most certainly I would advocate for Queen Mothers having a space in the Traditional Council.
In attendance was the Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Mami Ajeto, who called for more festivals to be celebrated to boost local economies.
But Ogwafetuafashe is something that is unique to Fantis in the sense that it changes the economy of this town over 3 days. In 3 days, if we had another Fetuafashe like twice a week, the economy of this town will change completely. Every hotel is full here. Every eatery is full. Our music is played all over. Everybody is wearing something Ghanaian. You know, our culture is on display. I mean, it's a change. How do you say it? It's a game changer. It's a game changer. And I believe that to promote our own economy, you know, we should have more festivals and we should make it attractive to the youth. Like we have the Orange Friday. The youth are attracted to it. In the evenings, I mean, the eating places are just crazy.
Elevate Africa, founded by the Queen Consort of the Warri Kingdom, is focused on championing women-related causes across Africa.
Now, with Ghanaian youth facing rising rates of depression, tramadol abuse, and sexual health risks, government and stakeholders are being urged to adopt practical solutions to curb that trend. The call was made at the launch of the Triple Launch Project, an initiative that combines a book, online resources, and counseling services to help young people navigate the struggles of growing up. The following report has more.
Nearly 4 in 10 Ghanaian university students live with symptoms of depression. Among senior high school students, the figure is even higher, over 68%. For young people, mental health challenges are fast becoming a silent crisis. The WHO's World Drug Report highlights significant increases in pharmaceutical opioid seizures, including tramadol, across West Africa, a region where Ghana is experiencing high levels of misuse. It is against this backdrop that a new book has been launched, one that speaks directly to young people struggling with addictions, sexuality and depression, offering guidance, awareness and practical tools for coping. Pastor Stefan is the author of the book.
This generation has the most potential. They are the most acquainted with knowledge. They are the most prepared to make impact. Every generation has been immoral. Think about a generation who did not have iPhones, yet some had 3 girlfriends and 4 girlfriends. I'm talking about the older generation. You know, it was worse than now. But there's this general idea that this young generation is immoral, etc. No, I disagree. I think that if we culture this generation well, it will be the most impactful. They will know how to deal with sin better.
The initiative also features a dedicated website and the distribution of gospel tracts with the aim of improving reading culture and providing counseling sessions for young people.
The mainstream idea is that we can use campaigns and other young people talking about, addictions to other young people to actually get people out of addiction.
Some young readers speaking at the launch of the initiative say the book mirrors their own struggles and gives them a sense of hope.
We simply come to understand how the Father, with his love for us as humanity, steps up to give us his Son.
With everything pertaining to digital stuff, now there's a lot more access. Now, because there's access, there's the tendency for the youth who want to explore. Now, because they want to explore, they would engage, they would indulge, and they have that free time because things have changed.
As the Word of God says, the entrance of the Word brings light. And the author painstakingly putting such writings in a book, making it available for the youth to go a long way, not only to elaborate the word of God for them the youth to comprehend, but also it would expose them.
You're still watching Joy News Desk with me, Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. And moving on, a 20-year-old man, Kojo Bright, has been stabbed to death at the Ashanti regional town, Newtown, in Kumasi early Thursday morning. The circumstances under which the individual was stabbed remains unclear, but friends believe the act is a reprisal of an earlier fight over a plastic chair at a game center. And on the line with us is Nana Aljima, gives us more on this story. Nana, what more can you report on this story?
So, according to the family of this young man, the incident happened yesterday in the morning when he had told his relatives that he'll be out for a while. And after that, a few moments later, they realized that they got information that he had been stabbed in the neck. Now, they rushed him to Konkonoche Teaching Hospital, where he was pronounced dead after arriving at the hospital. Now, according to friends, he had an earlier brawl with one of his friends at a game center, a snooker game center. Now, they were both laying claim to a plastic chair which is provided to customers of this game center. Now, this misunderstanding that started with just an argument or verbal argument degenerated into a fight, but people who were around could initially resolve the incident. But according to the people, there were threats from the other camp. Now, the day after, which was yesterday, this Mr. Kojo Bright went out on his normal route. Unfortunately, he was stabbed, alleged by this young man who was engaged in a brawl with him. Now, the young man yet to the suspect in this incident, it's yet to be arrested by the police. But the information that we are getting is that the police is on the matter first investigation, and hopefully they'll be able to catch the suspect as the investigation continues in this incident that happened yesterday at Ashanti Newtown in Kumasi.
Banana, how is his family taking the news?
Now, his mother, who we met in the morning and who also found his son lying in his blood, in a pool of blood yesterday, is distraught. She's still yet to come to terms with the incident. Yesterday, she was on her way to the market to commence her trading activities when she
right, thank you so much, Nana Aljima, giving us updates on this killing in Ashanti New Town. This is Joy News Desk. So take a break. We'll return with business.
Welcome back to Business here on Joy News Desk. My name is Winston Taki, and out to our first business story. A surge in demand for dollars by companies paying for imports before the year-end holiday season has ended the Ghanaian cedi's world-beating performance. According to data from Bloomberg, the local currency had weakened to 13% so far this quarter, the biggest decline globally. Here's more.
According to Bloomberg, the cedi traded 0.1% weaker at 11 cedis 95 pesos to the dollar. On a year-to-date basis, it gained 23%. Ghana's import-dependent economy shifts in everything from food to machinery. Demand for products from abroad tends to increase toward the end of the year as businesses stock up before the Christmas holiday season. That erased some of the cedi's 50% gain that was underpinned by a stronger bullion price and saw it ranked as the world's best performer in the 3 months through June. Some analysts say the central bank's inability to supply sufficient foreign currency to the market has contributed to the cedi's current weakness. While Ghana's gross international reserves soared to a 3-year high of $11.1 billion by the end of June, the central bank won't deploy sufficient funds to fully meet demand for foreign exchange.
Now, another development, President and CEO Ralph Lupita has announced that plans are underway to roll out 5G spectrum in Ghana. Speaking at a press briefing, he highlighted ongoing discussions with the regulator aimed at ensuring the delivery of world-class digital services to customers.
We had very encouraging discussions with Minister George, really around the ultimate availability of 5G spectrum. Across all our major markets in MTN, we now have 5G spectrum in the major markets. The only major market that we don't have it is in Ghana. And we've done a lot to improve on 3G, 4G, but ultimately we have to get to 5G. And as I said, the 700 band, or even 800, 700 and 800, I think in time people are going to be talking about the 600 band, plus the 35, the so-called golden band, 35 is going to be critical for 5G services. So that is constructive work in progress in our discussions with authorities. So I think it also partly answers your question. We are in constructive discussions about having those bands of spectrum to be able to do 5G. Why is that so important? I spoke earlier about the importance of delivering high-quality services to the home. Where I travel, whether in Africa or globally, the big thing is about getting high-quality connectivity to the home. Two main approaches. There's one is fiberize, fiber to the home. The other is fixed wireless access. The fixed wireless access generally needs, kind of 5G spectrum, 5G, CPEs, the units that you see inside your home, to be able to really drive a really good customer experience of digital services whilst you're in the home, either for the children, for their studies, work from home, entertainment. If those are the needs we're trying to satisfy, you do need 5G to really, really do that. And we're seeing it play out in markets like South Africa and Nigeria, and there's no reason why Ghana should be left behind. Our timeline will be one given by the authorities. We don't write our own timeline around accessing spectrum.
That's all for business here on Joy News today. When we come back from this break, certainly the Black Stars drawing against Chad, disappointing outcome, but what can we do? We hope for the best in the next game. Stay tuned after this.
Welcome back to Joy News Desk with me, and we do Black Stars now. And yesterday they drew with Chad, even though they still lead that group. Share your views with us on the game. Call us on 0302 211 691 to hear your views on that match yesterday, even though I knew that I wasn't, confident they were going to win the game anyway. But maybe you have your own views on that match. So call us on 0302 211 691. Let's hear your views on the Black Stars game. Whether whenever they're going to play a match, we should talk about it, because I realize every time we hype the Black Stars for a match, they kind of lose it or draw. And when nobody is paying attention, that's when you hear or see them winning their games. Maybe it's just me, but what are you saying about the performance of the Black Stars? Let's hear from you, 0302 211 691.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for calling us on this. What did you make of the match yesterday?
For me, I think this match, it was messed up. We had so many opportunities and chances that we couldn't make them possible by utilizing those chances. I don't have much to say, but all I can say is we can do. We are supposed to do more, not we can. We are supposed to do our best the next game we are having. That's my opinion. And the players, they were reluctant. They didn't do their best at all. And I think that's what everyone is talking of.
Your name and where you called us from?
My name is Kubati Michael calling from Navrongo.
All right. Thank you very much for calling us from Navrongo. You can also call us on 0302 211 691. Share your views on yesterday's Black Stars game. Who do we have on the line? So there are so many others also commenting on the match on social media, and on the Joy Sports post from Kobe Sweet, it says that Bournemouth gave us Semenyo look-alike. Well, I don't know whether that has to do with the match, but also Alex Tufo says, how does the table look like? Well, let's take another call from Stephen. Stephen Tufo, thanks for calling us. What do you make of the match yesterday?
Yeah, looking at the match yesterday, I think the coach needs to be sacked. And the urgency of the players was very low. Looking at the goal we considered yesterday, even the keeper did his best, but the players and the defenders, they need to be talked to them. At least they have to talk to them so that they have their game tomorrow.
Did you watch the match? You think they didn't play well at all, or they missed their chances? What did you make of the match?
In the first half, at least, we did better in the first half. But later in the second half, around 88th minute to 89th that way, then I think there was no urgency to play again. I think they were too relaxed about even passing the ball and other things. So that's what I can say.
All right. Stephen thinks that the Black Star side took the Chad team for granted. Anyway, let's get more of the views from social media. And PC Akwahinson says, no sense of urgency, playing like they scored 5. Andy Anderson also said current Heart 11 could have beaten Chad with ease. Also, John Amuzu says Ghana has a lot to do. There's another caller on the line, hopefully this. And where are you calling us from?
I'm from Cedi, the East region. My name is...
What did you make of the match?
Yesterday, we could have utilized this game, lead way good. But just in the our state would have done better. And I don't know the
strategy coach, but the coach that should give the chances.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes,
can you hear me?
I didn't get that bit well. Could you repeat yourself?
I was saying yesterday's match,
yes,
we could have used this opportunity to up the game to 3 points, maximum points. But yesterday they played like they don't want to play to our expectations. This is not the way Black Stars used to play. They could have done better. Semenyo, Kudus, and Jordan could have mastered the game to some kind of level that we expect from them.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your views with us. And those are conversations on the Black Stars game yesterday. We hope they do much better in subsequent games. But this has been Joy News Desk with me, Mami Sinyamiche Thompson. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. See you again on Monday.